Yo, keep this guy here. Hey, I'm sick. I'm sick as a dog. Jesus. So I'm one of the first to have this. I should be the first video ever to have this unit. So I'm going to get to this video for you guys. Listen, I don't know what I caught, but be careful out there. Whatever I have is trying to kill me. So we're going to get through this video one way or the other. I want to give a huge shout out to OSD Nero, or OSD Audio as you may know it, for sending me out their brand new to the market Xmax11 amplifier. This is, the name suggests, an 11 channel amplifier. So what I've been using in my system is two different amplifiers. One 7-channel amp powering my main speakers on the floor, and then another 4-channel amp powering my Atmos speakers. This allows you to lose one of those units and power all your speakers with one. So I'm happy to have that for that reason. But there's a special trick up the sleeve. So yes, there are 11 channels, but not all of them are powered equally. Your main channels, your front left, your center, and your right, will receive 310 watts at 4 ohms. You will also receive 135 watts to all your other speakers. So your main three, your center, your front right, and your front left will get 310 watts at 4 ohms. And then all your other speakers, Atmos, surround sound, it'll get 135. Now that's at 4 ohms. If you have 8 ohm speakers, you'll be getting 190 watts at 8 ohms to your main 3 speakers, and all your other speakers are getting 75. Now that's one of my nitpicks. I wish that they would disclose the 8 ohm power, because yes, 310 watts is really good for marketing, but if you don't have 4 ohm speakers, you're not getting anywhere near that. And so that may be kind of disheartening for some people. When I was on their website doing some research, there is nowhere initially on their page when you're reading about this that says anything about 8 ohms. So they're kind of hiding that away from you, making this look maybe a little bit more appealing at first than it is. But if you go into their manual, it does show you all sorts of stats about their power ratings. So just keep in mind 310 watts at max if you're running 4 ohm speakers, which I will be, or you're getting 135 watts at, 190 watts at 8 ohms. So 11 channel amplifier. Here's what we got going on in the back here. Very pretty design, banana plugs all the way through. We also have XLR inputs as well. And if you don't want to use XLR balanced connection, you can use RCAs. So each channel can be configured with either or. You can use XLRs or you can do RCAs, which is really nice. In the box, all you get is the power cord, which I have plugged up right now. I'm going to plug the unit up here in a second. And then you get a 12 volt trigger. And this is really nice because you can plug your 12 volt trigger from the back of your amplifier to your receiver or your preprocessor. And this will allow you to turn on and off the amplifier at the same time as your AV processor or your AV receiver. So you don't have to turn one thing off and then turn the other thing off. They will all shut off at the same time. That's how I will be running mine. So here's what I love about this unit. First off, it's beast. This thing weighs just over 80 pounds, and it definitely feels like it. My 7-channel amplifier that I was using was the monoprice model of 7x200, and that was also a 90-something pound unit. So I'm used to something this heavy. This is much bigger, but it's much longer, I'd say. Not much taller, maybe, but it is a big weight. So you're gonna want somebody to help you move this around. I'm gonna struggle moving this from my studio to my theater because I'm sick, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in so you guys can see this VU meter on the front. Let me do that for you. And let me turn on the power switch. So you guys can see that we have some LEDs on the front. These are red when you're in standby mode. So right now there's power to the unit, but it's not on, it's not active, it's not ready to go. But if I come around here and I press the power button, there we are. The power button turns blue first. All the relays click, and now we have a really pretty VU meter. Now I love this. There's some companies out there that do this that are millions of dollars more, but it's really cool that OSD put a VU meter on this because I think it's a really classy touch, and it's just aesthetically really cool to see. There is a display button on this side here where you can change the brightness of it, or the color of it, or turn it off altogether. So this is really cool. I will probably leave it blue because most of my other lights are blue in the amp rack, but you know, maybe yellow will be less distracting. We'll just stick on with yellow for now. So that VU meter will move as more power is being sent to your speakers. So it's a really cool aesthetic. It makes it look a little more expensive than it is. So it's a really classy touch. Let's just talk about the build quality overall. So this is taken from all their new Nero amps, the HT4200, their new 7200, all their new amplifiers have this nice metal plate. It's brushed metal on the front. Looks really good, right? Not a fingerprint magnet, so when you are moving this, you don't have to worry about dusting it off or anything like that. Plenty of ventilation on the top, nothing on the sides, but tons on the bottom. So I'm gonna put a fan on the top of this just to make sure that things stay cool. It will be in a closet rack at this point in my theater, so I will be putting a fan on it just to make sure that things don't get too hot when I crank it above reference level. So it's a really good build quality, metal all the way around. Again, like I said, it's super heavy. And the back panel is really quality too. 5-way binding post, gold plated. The XLRs look good. RCAs are really nice, Tiffany style. So I really like what I'm seeing here. Of course, like I said, trigger input and output. You have your power switch, you have your power port, and then you have your voltage selector. If you're going to be using this in the USA, 120 volt, or if you're overseas, you can use it 240 if you need to. So if you're new to the channel, you may not know that I sold my KEF R11s to a friend of mine, and I am currently about 2 weeks out from getting my new speakers. They are very power hungry. They're going to want a lot of juice. They are going to be 4-ohm speakers. So I'm going to be putting this thing to the test very soon. Right now I'm going to put it in my amp rack. I'm not going to video me putting it in the amp rack. I'll put some pictures up of it in my amp rack for you guys. But this is going to be heavy. And I'm really excited to have it because I'm expecting it to sound really good. One thing I want to talk about is if you're running 8-ohm speakers, you're going to be running this with less power, but you have less distortion. You're at 0.1 THD, so less total harmonic distortion if you're running 8-ohm speakers. So a really clean sound. But if you are running this in 4 ohms, you're going to have closer to 1% THD, so a little less cleaner sound, but you're getting a lot more power. I'm going to be running at 4 ohms. I think every speaker in my system is very close to a 4-ohm speaker, if not 6, something in that ballpark. So I'm going to be getting all the juice out of this. So what I want you guys to do is stay tuned for my full overview of this, I almost said receiver, of this amplifier. I'm going to put it in my rack. We'll get it set up. When my speakers come in, of course, I'll plug them up, and we'll listen to it, see what we think. Guys, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think of the Xmax11. There is a 7-channel coming out very, very soon. So if this does well, I'll probably recommend the 7-channel too if you don't need 11 channels. So thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, and I'm going to go to bed. We'll see you in the next video. Keep it sky out. Peace.